Hey folks, this might be a boring issue for some of you, particularly those of you who don't live in the US, so I don't blame you for tuning out, although you might have similar issues where you reside. But anyway, you might remember a couple of weeks ago I told you on a video about a sale I lost on Reverb. The person put in a lowball offer with a plea to have the price reduced for um, to take pity on his financial situation, and in a moment of weakness I agreed to sell the instrument for a lot less than it was worth, and then he cancelled the sale on me because they added state tax onto the price. They put it on the price. And I've been noticing on Amazon and Reverb and eBay that almost everything I buy now seems to be incurring an additional tax or a state tax. And it just happened again with a person that bought a classical guitar from me. Again, I gave them a deal on it. And when they went to pay for it, they paid an extra $13 in what appears to be state tax. And they asked me to either credit that back or cancel the sale. But I'd already packed it up and shipped it. So I'd already invested in the shipping. As you know, I don't charge shipping. I give free shipping, so I take the shipping out of my proceeds. So when I ship something, it comes out of the amount of the sale, and I don't get that back no matter what if the item gets returned. However, this person bought the guitar from California, and I'm selling in Colorado. So their question is, why are you charging me state tax? And my answer is, I'm not charging you state tax. I've never changed the settings on my eBay page at all regarding tax withholdings. I pay taxes on my proceeds every year, but I've never actually put in state tax information on my auction site, any of my auctions. So I don't know why they're taking that out. But anyway, they threatened to cancel the sale after I'd shipped it, which means I lose lots of money after already agreeing to sell it for less than it was listed for. So I went ahead and refunded them the $13.11 just to keep the sale going. And then we've had a few exchanges after that. And I started looking into it, and I thought I'd make a video on this just in case anyone else is getting caught out by this issue. I wrote back to the customer, said, I'm really upset about this tax issue you've raised, even though I've refunded you, and I'm trying to do a bit of research on it. Here's an article I found, and it seems that eBay is taking out sales tax regardless of a seller's tax settings. So this is something that was taken out or added by eBay. It's not something that I have in my settings that charge somebody from California state tax. I double check my settings. All the boxes on the state tax settings are zero, are blank. I'm not requesting any withholdings whatsoever. So if something's being taxed, it's not on my end. And I found this article. I won't read the whole thing. But it says you might want to double check the purchase amount next time you buy something on eBay, as it's changed its sales tax in 13 or more US states. And this is from July. Online stores have largely been exempt from paying US taxes in the past, but these legal loopholes are slowly being closed. Amazon now collects state tax everywhere, and I'm seeing this too on all my Amazon sales. Newegg does it in 43 states, and even eBay has started to join in. eBay was required to charge state tax on purchases in a handful of states, but starting as of July 1st, which has passed, it's now December, it will collect sales tax on behalf of items sellers in 13 states. And it gives these states listed: Minnesota, Washington, Iowa, Connecticut, District of Columbia, Nebraska, New Jersey, Idaho, New York, Alabama, Arkansas, Indiana, Kentucky, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Dakota, Vermont, West Virginia, and Wyoming. Then, as per October 1st, they added California, North Dakota, South Carolina, Texas, and Utah. No Colorado in any of those listings. So the withholding that eBay made, or the tax that they charged this person from California, was actually not from my state. It must be California because California is on this list. So I looked that up too, and I see another article on this where it says, even though it seems wrong to have to pay state tax to a state from which you didn't actually buy the item from, that's not how sales tax and use taxes, some of these are use taxes rather than state sale tax, that's not how they work. If you're using the item in your state, you will be paying sales/use tax to your state. This is why this person is being charged. It's a new tax regulation from their state, regardless of the fact that they bought it from somebody in Colorado. So, in order to keep the sale, I refunded this person their $13, but that's not actually going to go back into the, that's not going to come out of the tax column. That's going to come out of my proceeds from the sale. So I already gave this person a discount. Now I got bilked out of another $13 to keep the sale because they were going to cancel the sale because of this sales tax issue. And it's not even my fault or my responsibility or my doing. These are new tax laws that are going into effect or that have gone into effect. And now you're starting to see state taxes applied to most of your online sales. It's something that's happening, folks. And this person immediately blamed the seller like I was the one applying the tax. They said I'd made a mistake. Not only had I wrongfully charged them taxes, I charged the wrong amount, which is 8.75% instead of 8.25%, which is the sales tax in Colorado. I didn't do any of that. And having now dug into this issue, I can see that this is not anything that the sellers have control over. So if it's a make or break issue, then you're going to have to stop buying stuff online, because now it's not only being done on eBay, it's being done on Amazon, it's being done on other large retailers like Newegg, and most states, as you can tell by that long listing that I just read out, are now affected by this. So please understand, if you get charged sales state tax on an online sale, it's not necessarily because the person on the other end, the seller, has required to take out that state tax, or they might have, because there is a feature in eBay where you can put in where you want to charge state tax and what percentage. So you can manually go in and configure this stuff. Most people don't. And my settings are all blank, all zeros, all the way across the board. I've not configured any state taxes anywhere. This is just now what eBay's doing as per these new tax regulations that I'm finding out about. I thought it was important to do a video about this because I've now lost 2 sales. This person's angry at me for charging him an amount he shouldn't have been charged. But now looking into it, it has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with my state. My state is not even on that list. This is to do with the fact that California is now changed their tax code or their sales tax regulations. So I just think people need to be aware of this. This has sort of ambushed me, and I'm sure it's going to come up in the future. There's nothing I can do about it. The only way I can control the total amount of a sale that I do is if somebody buys something from me direct and pays via PayPal or Venmo, and I ship it to them direct away from these online selling sites, which I sometimes do. But these selling sites, Reverb does it as well. They add, more often than not now, they add taxes. And people are getting confused, thinking that it's the seller that's wrongfully applying tax to a sale from one state to another. It's not at all. It's these new tax laws that have gone into effect. If anybody can summarize that more meaningfully and more succinctly than I have, please put it in the comments below. I'm trying to understand this issue as it seems to be a contentious one. Okay, folks, thanks very much. See you next time.